Y'all, hey, it's Amia Renee. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about my surgery I had. So I told myself in 2021 I wanted to be more transparent with you all. I want to let you into my life, not just my hair videos. I wanted you all to get to know me on a personal level. So I said, why not open up and share about this situation, hoping that I could help someone else out. So let's jump straight into it. As you can tell by the title, I had surgery. The surgery I had is called a myomectomy. So I'm going to be taking out my hair while I'm talking to you all, my twist out. First, these twists have been in for 2 weeks. Just plain old 2-strand twists. And I want to take it out and wear it in a little curly fro. First, I'm going to grab this big old thing, coconut oil. Lightly coat my fingers while I unravel. So before we get into everything, let me go ahead and read what Google said a myomectomy is. A myomectomy is the surgical removal of fibroids from the uterus. It allows the uterus to be left in place. For some women, makes pregnancy more likely than before. Myomectomy is the preferred fibroid treatment for women who want to become pregnant. Let me start from the beginning. Ever since I had my cycle and getting my periods, I remember my periods being very, very painful. So painful that I would have to take pills all day long to help with the pain. Use a heating pad, and it still really didn't work. Bleeding, TMI, but you know this whole video is TMI. With bleeding, I would bleed a lot. Like, I would use 2 heavy flowing pads and I still would have blood in my panties or on the sheets when I get up. That's how much blood it was. I was very fatigued, nauseous to smells, sensitive to like any kind of smell. If someone had perfume on or car air fresheners, I wouldn't be able to put them in my car. I had to take them out. I threw some away before because it just made me extremely nauseous. Certain foods made me nauseous. Yeah, that was really bad. Back to the pain level. So my pain with my cycle was so bad that the first 2 days, I couldn't barely walk, move. All I would do was just drink some hot tea, try to eat some crackers so I could take my pills and hopefully that would make me feel better, which it really didn't. Like I could not go to work, I could not stand, I couldn't walk. Everything hurt. I didn't think anything of it, I just thought it was normal, whatever the case may be. As I got older and, you know, get pap smears and everything, and ultrasound determined that I did have fibroids. So just throughout the years when I would just get a yearly ultrasound to see the growth or anything, if they grew or not. And for years they didn't grow. It was only, I think, 2 in the beginning. It was only 2 fibroids. There was really no treatment. My doctor said you just keep your eyes on it because it was so small. It was too small to do any surgery. Well, fast forward to this past summer 2020. Fibroids seemed like it got worse because the pain would get worse. Didn't feel like I was getting any relief. I was tired of taking pills. The only pills that would help me was ibuprofen. Nothing else. And taking pills constantly is not good anyway. Any kind of pills. I know that. But I couldn't help myself. I had to take the pills or I wouldn't be able, I don't know what I would do. It hurt so bad that I had to take the pill. Constantly chewing on some ibuprofen throughout the months and years. I'm like, you know, it got to be a better way. I mean, so yeah, I went and got another ultrasound. I think I didn't have one for like 1.5 years. And within that time, I went from having 2 fibroids to having 4. So my OBGYN referred me to a doctor that specializes in fibroids. So my first consultation with her, I just went over my history. She did have copies of my ultrasounds throughout the years. Where they would cut you like you were having a C-section and remove the fibroids. Another one, they would numb the area and they would just do little incisions where they see the fibroids at. So they would just cut and take that fibroid out, cut, take that fibroid out. She did a vaginal exam, and as soon as she touched me, she knew that my fibroids were big. because my fibroids, they were right beside my uterus. So she told me that if I was to have gotten pregnant and had a baby, I would have to have a C-section, because me pushing, I could rupture the fibroids, and therefore me and the baby could potentially die. I said, just do whatever we have to so I can have the best quality of life. Cause now, I was extremely nervous. I never had surgery before in my life, never had stitches, never had to stay in the hospital overnight. You know, thank God I am a pretty healthy person, never had any other illnesses or anything going on. What made it worse is, of course, I had surgery during COVID, where you can't have anyone with you. So I couldn't have anyone sitting in the waiting area with me while I was waiting to go back for surgery. I couldn't have anybody in the back waiting for me when I come out. I would see them. I couldn't have any of that. But I was able to have one visitor for a couple of hours after the surgery. I scheduled my surgery for September of 2020. Yeah, September of 2020. So the day of surgery, just, you go in the back. You see a nurse. They ask you a whole bunch of questions about your health, your history, family, medical history, and all that. So this is the part where I was a little irritated. I was so scared to have surgery. I asked, could they give me something to fall asleep before y'all wheel me in the surgery room? Because I know my anxiety was going to go to 100 once I see the surgery room and the scalpel and everybody around. I was going to be nervous. So they said, oh no, we can't do that. Okay, whatever. As soon as I seen the table I was going to lay on, well, the bed I was going to lay on, with everybody around, the big ring light, I instantly got irritated and scared, because I told them I knew I was going to get nervous. I closed my eyes, I got on the table, and she was like, it's going to be okay. You're going to feel the medicine in a couple seconds, and within seconds I was out. Then I remember waking up inside of the recovery room, and I was so hungry. I was able to call my boyfriend so he could come down to visit me when I got to my room. But yeah, so one of the doctors came and saw me, and she was telling me that initially I had the 4 fibroids. So when they went inside to do the surgery, they found 6. So that was another reason why I'm glad I got the myomectomy, because they was able to cut me open and see everything, versus if I would have got the other surgery where they just cut where they saw the fibroids on the ultrasound. They could have missed a couple of fibroids because they wouldn't have known it was there. They were just going off of what they saw from the ultrasound. And my surgeon said that, of course, ultrasounds don't show everything. Some fibroids could be very small, or could be hidden behind other organs or whatever, so they might not be able to see it. So yeah, I'm glad that I did get the C-section cut, so they could take everything out. If you're gonna go in, go ahead and take everything out. Everybody was so nice though. Everybody was really nice, and my doctor, she's really nice. My OBGYN is she's black. I'm black. I wanted to see a black woman. There's nothing wrong with seeing people other races. I had a OBGYN that was a Chinese man for a long time, for many years, so he was great. But I don't know, I just wanted to go to a black person, a black woman. So she's black, and she referred me to my surgeon, who it was a black woman as well. So everybody was nice, friendly, professional. When they did the C-section cut, my doctor did tell me they were going to put some type of numbing medicine inside my stomach. Now, I'm not sure. I'm not a surgeon, so I don't know all of the medical words, or terms, but it was like a lidocaine, I say patch, but I guess you could say patch, something like a medicine lidocaine patch inside my stomach to help with the healing process. I was like, okay, yeah, sure, do whatever you gotta do so it won't hurt. And that really did help me. I did feel pain, but it was, I don't know, I felt pain, but it didn't feel too bad if I wasn't moving. And I was on some medications. Well, that same day of surgery, oh my goodness, I never knew how, well, of course you know every part of your body is important, but I didn't know how much your stomach affects every single thing. Like every movement you make, your stomach is involved in that. Oh, when I tried to get out the bed, I couldn't get out the bed. My boyfriend had to get me out the bed. Body brace. I did have a brace or stomach brace on, so I didn't know how my stomach really looked. And I couldn't bend anyway to see it, so it didn't make a difference. So my pain at that time, it still wasn't, I don't know how to call it, because I still was very, very numb for the medicine, and then I still was taking the pills that they were giving me. So it was okay. They let me go home the next day, which was great. Went home, and I was pretty good. I would say overall my surgery was great. No complications. But I will tell you this. I came on my period 2 weeks after my surgery, and that was the worst period of my life. Oh, it hurt so bad. I was about to call a doctor and tell her,
just put my fibroids back in. Like,
I didn't sign up for this. This hurts worse. It hurt worse than before I had the surgery. Pain before my fibroid surgery was, it was about a 10 plus. It was like a 10 plus. My first period after having surgery, it was like a 20. It hurt so damn bad. I don't know if you ever been in pain where you just moaning. Like, it didn't help, but I had to make a noise. Like, I was actually moaning. Like, I've never been in that type of pain in my life where I just had to let out some type of sound just to make me feel better. That was crazy. It hurt so bad. When I went to my first follow-up appointment, which was like 3 weeks after, 3 or 4 weeks after my surgery, I told my doctor about the pain, and she informed me that, okay, yeah, they did have to cut cuts along my uterus, so therefore my uterus is healing. So it's going to hurt. She said it's going to take at least up to 6 cycles to start to feel better again. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I was telling her that my stomach, it felt like lightning pains. I didn't know how else to describe it, but it felt like lightning. And she was saying that was normal too, because that was my nerves trying to reconnect. So that was my only issue. She did say that my stomach was healing great. And yeah, so I was out of work for 6 weeks. I didn't start driving again until 3 weeks after my surgery. And on my 6-week appointment, everything was pretty good. She just examined me and asked me, how do I feel? Do I feel like I could go back to work? Do I feel comfortable? Everything was okay. I could bend by then. 6 weeks, it still was pressure on my stomach. I didn't want to wear anything form-fitting. I lived in sweatpants. I still was wearing my stomach brace around because I was scared if something was to bump into my stomach, it would hurt. So the brace was like protecting me. I did go back to work after 6 weeks, and I was okay. My stomach, she told me not to work out still. I couldn't work out, but I could have sex. My stomach still felt very numb. Like, whatever that lidocaine that they put inside my stomach, like right to this day, I had my surgery in September. It is now January, and I could touch on my stomach, and I can still feel a little numbness. But overall, I guess my surgery was successful. I only had 4 cycles since my surgery, and every cycle my blood flow has definitely gotten better. I used to bleed heavy for like 3 to 4 days. Now after 2 days my cycle is lighter, but I still do have pain the first, I would say at least the first day. Sometimes the second day, but the first day I still have really bad pain. First, the reason why I wanted to make this video is because when I first initially heard that I was going to potentially have to get surgery, I went to YouTube. I love YouTube. I watch YouTube all the time. I probably watch YouTube just as much as I watch TV. So I said, well, let me go on here and see if I could hear some other women's story and what they went through. But I didn't see too many women that looked like me, which was weird because fibroids, they predominantly affect black women. Of course, other races could get fibroids or have gotten fibroids, but it affects us the most. So I wanted to come on here and share my story. If you or someone you know may have to have the surgery, that they will be okay. It's a light at the end of the tunnel. Fast forward to today, I started working out again. I'm feeling better, stronger. So hopefully my cycles will get better and I won't be in as much pain. Of course, my camera cut off. I don't know where I stopped at. I think I covered everything. Overall, would I recommend getting the surgery? Yes. Of course, you got to do your own research, see what's best for you. And also do research on the surgeon you want to pick and what type of fibroid removal surgery you want. Yeah. So off camera, I just did some little edge control and swoop my edges down and pick with my pick. Lightly pick my hair so it get bigger. But anyway, I just wanted to share my story with you all. Like I said, when I was looking on YouTube, I really didn't see too many black women, African American women talking about fibroids, and I know that it affects us the most. And I know that me seeing someone that looked like me who've been through the same thing that I have been through makes me feel better knowing that they made it. So if you have any questions or comments, you can leave them down below. Or if you want to remain private, you don't want to put it in the comment section, down below is my email address. You can email me, or also you could DM me on Instagram and I will respond to you. As always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.